your relationship should be a mirror.
Yes.
I forgot who I heard say that.
Yes.
But it was like, it should show you a reflection of who you are.
Yes.
So it's either, oh, okay, that's a good trait about me, I should keep that going, or what's that in my eye?
Right.
Oh,
that ain't cute.
That ain't cute.
Right.
It's not
cute.
It's not cute. Me always thinking that I can, when we're bad, I can cuss you out. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day,
hang up on you, walk away from you.
Lish, you just don't make. I will listen. How I treat you as a friend, even when I'm angry, matters. Because at the end of the day, our goal is to be friends.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So even seeing like how I treat you when I'm angry,
Yes.
how I treat you when I'm stressed out, how I treat you when I'm at my best, and I'm like that should show you.
Yep.
So it's important to be able to realize how your friendship should refine you in the best and worst way.
So have a great day. Don't bring no drama my way. Don't bring no drama my way. Don't bring no drama my way. Yeah, I might have a great day. Don't bring no drama my way. Don't bring no drama my way. Don't bring no drama my way.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Lish Speaks, and we are back with another episode of I'll Just Let Myself In, the podcast where we do not wait for an imaginary permission slip. We let ourselves into our God-given doors. Listen, this week, I'm super excited. Now, I know y'all be like, you say it every week. I do be excited. It's my show. But, somebody got to be excited. It's going to be me. But I'm super excited this week because in honor of Women's History Month, I have a woman who I respect highly. She is a broadcaster, a producer, a co-host, an actress. She gonna wonder why I put that in there, but she was recently in somebody's music video pretending to be Free from 106 and Park. An actress, a media personality, an inspirational speaker, a sister, a friend, a woman of God. You guys have been seeing her in the media for the past 12 years, and God is continuing to elevate her career. She's someone who I look up to and I'm learning from, even from a distance. Everybody, give it up for Meah Evans, y'all.
Y'all, Lish is so legit. Oh my goodness. Lish, thank you for having me.
Of course. Listen, I had to put actress in there. I saw you.
When she said, I was like, who is she talking about?
She an actress. I said, no, Matthew Hudson.
Oh my goodness.
Get into it.
Thank you for that intro. That was like amazing. Thank you.
And put it on your resume.
Okay.
Honey, I do something one time.
Okay.
It's a part of
It's
what
a
I
part
do.
of what I do.
Period. I did
Okay.
it. I already
Okay.
did it.
Okay.
So it's done. It's a part
It's
of what I
already
do.
done. It's going to be right there. After I'm putting them a little small for me. So I'm putting it on there. I'm putting it on there.
As you should. Listen, as you can see, we're going to have a good time today. But before we get into our interview with Meah, you guys know we have one of the best segments in podcasting. It's called What I'm Stepping In. And in this segment, I share with you the sneakers that I have on for the episode. So today, I'm stepping in a collab, a J.W. Anderson Converse collab. It's a glitter collab that he did in 2019. And I love Converse. This is the first pair of Converse that I had in a while. I think Converse had a good run in the early 2000s, and then in 2019, he came back and did this collab. I love anything colorful and glittery, as you know, if you watch this show. And so I had to bring these back out for the show. So you know what we always say here at I'll Just Let Myself In. If you like them, go get you some. So Meah.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, as I was doing my research and kind of looking at your life and contribution to Christian hip hop over a decade, I thought to myself, this girl is no joke. Like, to be doing what you were doing at 16 and now elevated to where you are now, it is really impressive. And because it's you, maybe you don't see it.
No, I don't. That's what's crazy. You said your contribution. I said, what I do? What I be doing?
Okay, so you have been on red carpets for award shows.
Yes, yes.
You have interviewed some of the most prominent people, not just in Christian hip hop, but in the body of Christ. Ministers, singers, church leaders. It really is impressive. And I really,
that's my life. I mean,
it's truly.
Oh wow! Yeah.
I got some of the names written down. We're gonna go through them.
Okay.
But as you know, I'm just getting into the media side of things from being an artist.
Been doing so well.
Thank you very much. I just want you to know I'm truly inspired by what you're doing, and it really gives me like, oh, I can do this. Like when people say representation is important.
Oh, so important.
I'm looking at you. I'm like, she's a brown girl, you know, brown features. There's no ambiguity, you know. It's not like she looks mixed. No. She's a brown girl, black girl, black. My skin is so black, like, you know?
Always in.
And I'm just like, okay, I can do this. So I just want to say, before we even get into anything, thank you for your yes to God, because it truly is inspiring me. And on days when I have a little self-doubt, I can look at you and people like you and see, okay, no, I can do this. So thank you.
Thank you, Liz, for telling me that. That means a lot.
For sure. Okay, so speaking of you being in media for 12 years, you know, I know that you and your sister are in radio broadcasting and have been since 2013. And a lot has changed,
girl,
in the landscape of just media since then. Tell us a little bit of the backstory of how Eminem started, and then how you've seen it change over the years.
Okay, so I think my sister was a junior in high school, and I was a freshman. And we're driving home. And I grew up Christian, you know what I'm saying? So like in the car, Praise 102.5, that's the gospel station here in Atlanta that my mama was playing, you know what I'm saying? At the time, there was a prominent gospel song playing at the time on the radio. And so it was old school, you know what I'm saying? But like, you know, as a teenager at the time, my sister and I, my sister was like, turn this off. Like, can't we hear something else? But knowing the music I had in my phone, my mom wasn't gonna play that ride. You know what I'm saying? So my sister was just like, you know, my sister gets so passionate. So she was just saying, like, you know, like, what is this? Like, I don't relate to this. Like, what does this even mean? Like, you know, as a Christian teenager, I want to hear things that appeal to me. And then so I was just casually saying, Liz, just casually. I said, you know, it'd be cool if there was a radio show for teens and young adults where, like, you know, the message was there, but like the music was like something similar to the things that we listen to like on mainstream radio. Yeah. She was like, yeah, we should do that. And I was just like, okay, like I didn't think anything of it. I'm just thinking like, no, sometimes my sister and I, we can get dreaming, but like in a blessing. In an imaginative sense. But she was for real, because when we got home, she took out our tablet. Like, what would our show be called? What would the tagline be? What would we do? Like, what would our segments be? And I was kind of like, I'm just gonna do this out of fun. So we just kind of like went back and forth. But the more we went back and forth, the more passion we got with it. So we told our mom, we were like, you know, we have this idea. We're going to call it Eminem Live Radio. Yeah. Like, what do you think? And she was like, I don't know anything about radio. I don't know why you're bringing this to me, but, you know, write the vision, make it plain, and we'll just see where it goes.
Come on, mama.
Lish, a year later, mind you, the only person we ever told about Eminem Live Radio was our mom. Out of nowhere, at the church we went to at the time, someone comes up to my mom and says, hey, how you doing? Good morning, sister. Hey, I know a guy who owns a radio station, and he's looking for some shows to go on the air. Here's the card of the general manager of the radio station. If you know anyone who's looking to be on the radio, here's their card. You can call him. And my mom was like, that was so random. I don't even know why. Then we get in the car. We asked how church was. Hey, this guy gave me this card about this guy who's having a radio station. I don't know why he gave this to me. And my sister and I look at each other. We're like, Ma, that's it. Like, this is our opportunity. So long story short, September 22nd of 2013 was our very first show. It was on this station called 1570 AM WIGO. This prominent station in Atlanta that a lot of big wigs in radio kind of got their start on, which I'm honored to even be a part of, like, you know, a station that's legendary like that. And I'm grateful for everyone there, the PD and the general manager who gave a shot to these two teenage girls who ain't never been on the radio. And from there, we just kind of like just grew. We discovered CHH. I've only been knowing about CHH for as long as I've been doing Eminem Live Radio, so over the past 12 years. So discovering that music and then being able to create platforms for that and interview people and just be able to grow as the space grows and even grow as an interviewer, a broadcaster. I'm so grateful. So that's kind of how Eminem Live Radio got it started.
I love that. And so from radio, you have now become a podcaster.
Yes.
A podcast co-host on one of the biggest podcasts in Christian hip hop, 116 Life Podcast. You guys have interviewed everybody that there is to interview.
Oh my gosh.
I was looking through YouTube before I came on your podcast and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was a little intimidated. I'm not going to hold you.
I was intimidated. When they brought me out, what you mean? I felt some type of way. I'm like, y'all want me to be on the show?
And listen, and you are doing an amazing job. Tell me about the process of you becoming the co-host and how all that has gone for you.
Now, that's another favorable story. I don't even think I've even talked about this. So every year, Reach does the summer playlist. And at the time, Ace, who's my co-host now, shout out to him. And his wife was about to have their baby. And so he's about to go on leave for that. And then so they needed for someone to co-host some episodes. So I was at an event for Reach, and our producer at the time, Joe, he saw me, was like, hey, Meah, we were talking about you not too long ago. Like, we were looking for someone who can co-host and do guest host while Ace is gone, some episodes for the playlist. Would you mind doing it? And I was like, yeah. I said, no problem. So like, I sent in, like, they gave me two episodes I did, and I recorded it, felt really, really good about it, walked away. I was like, okay, that was a real cool opportunity. I've never even interviewed by myself outside of my sister. So that was kind of cool. Like, seeing that I was capable of doing it. And, couple weeks passed, and then Joe, the same guy who worked at Reach at the time, him and Dee, who works at Reach as well, who I've known for a minute, they were like, hey, we want to take you to lunch. And at first I thought, okay, either I'm in trouble, I did something,
because I ain't getting a record deal.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, I'm not a rapper, so I know I'm not getting signed. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, did I do that? I do something they're not going to use my episodes, like something along the lines of that. So I went to lunch, and we're talking, and they're saying how, like, because at the time, shout out to Marcus Hollinger, who really started 116 Life. And, when he left Reach, of course, he left the show. So Ace was really holding it down. But Ace, with him also being SVP of A&R at Reach, it was a lot for him to do his duties as SVP and then also be a host. So they were like, it's just a lot. We're kind of looking for someone else who can kind of help carry the show of 116 Life with Reach. We're trying to figure out what we want. I said, I said, I think I'll for sure find that. I said, the show's great. Has a lot of potential. And they're like, so we're asking you here because we were asking you if you would be interested in being the co-host of the 116 Life. And I was kind of like, why? What are you? Y'all know who y'all asking, right? Like, are y'all sure y'all want me? And then at first I wasn't sure, Lish, for honestly that I was fit to do it. Fit to do it, then even also if I had the time. At the time I was producing a show. Anike at the time had a podcast called The Winner Circle that I was proudly producing, but took a lot, it was a lot of energy for me to produce that along with my own show. So to do another show, I was kind of like, I don't know, like, can I really do this? Do I have time? And then so when they told me the vision behind it of just like 116 isn't just the music we listen to, it's the lives we live. You know what I'm saying? And when they said that, I was like, yeah, I can run with that. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I would love to be a part of something where it's bigger than music. It's a movement. It's the life that we live. And diving in the lives of not just artists, but of people who live these unashamed lives that bring people back to the glory of God. So I'm so grateful. It's been a year and some change now with me being a part of Reach. And the biggest thing I love is like, and I know you talk about representation, but even like being a woman, being valued somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, where it's like, I'm not just the woman co-host, like, like they ask me my opinion. They value my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, be able to do something that I love as a job. And I was talking to you about this when you came to Reach, about how it doesn't feel like work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm so grateful to be able to be a part of it. And I think I've even grown as an interviewer being there. Ace doesn't give himself enough credit. He's a great interviewer, and I've learned from him as well. So I love being at 116 Live. I'm really grateful for it. It's all God. I can't take any credit for it. That was all
amazing. God. And you're a great interviewer. Let me tell you, you got things out of me. I called my husband when I left the interview, and I was like, I feel a little insecure. Because I talked about stuff that I don't normally talk about. Like, and I was like, I just, sensitive stuff, and I was like, how in the world did she get me this? Because that's what I be doing.
No, exactly, right. So when you're on the other side, you're kind of like, how did she bamboozle me? Right. So
So you're really great at interviewing people. And it's funny, as I listen to you, you tell stories, you're like, I don't know how this happened, or are they sure they want me? It kind of makes me laugh, because no matter how much God elevates us, we still struggle at times to believe that we are worthy. Do you feel like you have a worthiness issue?
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that.
God be checking me for real. I think I'll say this. So I had a past of always dealing with comparison when it comes to my sister, when it comes to just like a lot of things, So sometimes I wrestle. I'm not as bad as I used to be. I'm grateful to God. But sometimes I'm thinking like, am I the right person? Like, let's weigh out all options here. You know what I'm saying? So I will say that I have to always check myself to be like, like, if God gave me this, he must trust me. I'm able, I'm capable. You know what I'm saying? So I always have to tell myself that I'm enough.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know,
Yes.
and it's not even just me. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Like, God is my portion. So whatever I'm lacking, he makes up for.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
And if he chose you, you're ready, you know. And that's what I
Yes.
tell myself all the time. I'm like, how many things do I think I'm ready for that God ain't said yes to yet?
Yeah.
So the things he's saying
Yeah.
yes to are sure I must be ready.
Right.
Because there's a lot of
Right.
things I'm asking
like,
for that.
like, you know that what people be saying, like God qualifies the
Yeah, the
call.
called.
He doesn't call the
qualify.
qualify. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? So it's kind of like if he's
Yep.
calling me, I'ma just trust.
Just roll with it.
I'ma trust that I'm
Yes,
qualified.
absolutely.
That's all I got.
Has your sister helped you through your transition to 116
Ooh,
life?
shout out to my sister, Meah Jones.
Yes.
Because at first, when I was nervous to take 116 life, because I was like, dang, how would she feel about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want for her to feel like I'm stepping away or
Yeah.
I'm giving someone else my time and energy.
Mhm.
And she was so supportive, even to
I
this
love
day,
it.
Lish. Like days when I'll do a solo interview or even just an interview with Ace and I didn't feel that great about it.
Yeah.
I'll call her and she'll be like, you know, like don't beat yourself up. You learn something from this. Or
Mhm.
like, you know, I'll be not sure on how I
Yeah.
should interview this guest because they interview with everybody. You're like, man, this is kind of a big person. I don't know what to say.
Yeah.
She'll just be like, okay, well, just relax. Like, you know, have you considered doing this? Okay, well, even helping me formulate some questions, like, you know, things to ask. So I'm so grateful to Meah. Like,
Yeah.
she's like the definition of just a phenomenal sister. And she's really helped remind me who I am and that same capability that God gave me to like do all of this.
Yeah. I love it. I got one of those too. I have an amazing older sister.
Yeah.
And, you know, as we, you know, are celebrating and in the month of Women's History, I want you to talk a little bit about how important the women in your life have been, whether it be media, church, mama, auntie, you know, how have women fortified you to help you become the woman you are today?
That's a good question. I think for me, I grabbed a couple of different things. I think for the women in my life, I think my sister, I think she plays a big part just because we grew up really close. Yeah. You know, so with
you guys are 2 years apart.
2 years apart.
My
yeah,
sister
like,
and I are 3.
Really?
So,
Yeah. So like so you get it. You know what I'm saying? Like with having someone who's not your mom, but like, you know, who like you can just go
but thinks
to,
they are.
But thinks they are. You know what I'm saying? Like will be mad at me for not telling. Like don't forget you still just my sister, but like then I'll feel guilty. Like dang, I should have told Meah. You know, like so. My sister's reminded me what it means to just be confident in who you are. She's always been so confident in her life, and I've learned confidence from her and hard work from my mom, who just always makes sure that she's doing the things that she needs to get done. Even prayer from my mom and faith from my mom, from my grandmother, of jars like caring for people and things of that nature.
Yes.
I even got to give credit to a lot of my friends. You know, a lot of my friends, seeing them be so devoted, like and you had her on your show, Portia, learning from her just what it means to be a devoted daughter, and Anike from learning from her, just seeing how her faith and being and caring about other people, no matter how heights you go to. I have a mentor in my life, a part of her mentoring community. Her name is TK. TK Webu. Learning from her, but also what it means to be a daughter, devoted. You know, at the feet of Jesus. You know what I'm saying?
Shouts
not
to TK.
wavering. TK.
Let me tell you, I've only met her once in person, but just via Instagram.
No, Lish,
you know,
finding her, TK was truly God, because I was praying for like a mentor who like I could have great community and like learn how to just not be a woman but also be feminine and have faith. And then I didn't know, I'm following her. Every time I see her, I'm like, you're just someone that just radiate beauty, faith, just like you just radiate something that I just aspire to be. And then seeing that she had a mentoring community, I was like, oh Jesus, thank you so much.
That's how God, let me say, that's how me and Portia became friends. God, certain people, God just ordains y'all to cross paths so that y'all can make up for each other's lack. You know, there's been so much growth. And she and I got married around the same time. Our husbands are cool with each other. It's just like, okay, this is a God thing, very clearly. Like, you know what I mean? So yeah, I love that. TK, come sit on the couch. Anike, come sit on the couch.
Let's come to the couch. Come to the couch.
I'm actually gonna
It's a nice couch too. I'm gonna say that. Make sure y'all come to this very nice couch. I'm doing an
event with both of them. April 5th.
Esther's
arrival. So come through. Y'all, but I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be a powerful
time. Bring your tissues, because I already know.
I'm excited. So she's been a person in your life, and you've been saying other friends of yours.
So I really try to make sure that I keep women around me who, I think TK's even pressed that into our group as well, just keeping women around you who demand your higher self the woman who God wants for you to be.
Yes.
And I'm just grateful to having people like that, whether I talk to them every day or just seeing from afar.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That, that's an attribute that I want to have.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for those women, for sure.
You are a powerful woman who keeps powerful women around you.
Mm.
But, and as am I. But I also understand that you pay a price for that power when there's a woman in your life who may not either have stepped into her power yet or is intimidated by your power.
Mm-hmm.
How have you dealt with that in this role? Just, you know, because the lights bring lights.
Mm-hmm.
You understand?
Ooh, man, we getting into it,
Yeah.
huh? I think sometimes it can be frustrating on both ends. When you have, like, I feel like a lot of people, even like, you know, women, we have that friend that always go to that same buster guy. And you're like, girl, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, for the 15th time. Or like that one friend who, like, they always underestimate their capability to doing a certain gift.
Yeah.
And then on the other end, you got that friend where it's just like, they always try to make you feel small. And for whatever reason, it doesn't even make sense why. I've experienced all of those things. It can be frustrating.
Yeah.
And I think the way that I try to navigate through that is, I think for the friends who are not necessarily, I don't mean this in a pompous way, but on my level, extend patience. I think patience will help you and them for real. Just because everyone grows differently.
Yep.
And knowing that everyone's going to arrive in due time, in a different season. You know what I'm saying? And not at the same pace you did. Because to me, it's common sense. Throw his number out.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead and do the thing.
Yeah.
Believe in yours. Like, all the things.
Yes. Give your life to Christ.
Right.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Let's get it.
Right. Throw away them idols.
Right.
Please stop. Like, why are you going to crystals and Jesus? Like, it doesn't make sense
exactly.
to me. But even, I'm not going to lie to you, Lish, praying for my friends has been a big thing. I'd be trying, I'd make it a consistent effort to try to cover my friends, just because even beyond my patience, in the things that I want for them to do, ultimately I really want what God wants for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like I call my friends out by name.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, let go of their divinations. Please let them step into their calling. Let them be in motion. Let them not have to worry about finances. Let them steward their finances. You know what I'm saying? So like I extend patience, but also prayer. That's been a big thing that's even helped keep me grounded, because as much as I want it for you, I want whatever God wants for you, and above whatever I can do, God's going to do exceedingly beyond that. You know, and
He loves you more than I ever could, ever would. Put you together, you know, formed you in your mother's womb, you know, has plans to prosper you, not to harm you.
Yes.
It ain't me.
It ain't
you
me.
know?
I can only but do so much.
And you kind of talked about like on your level, and I get that, because one of the things I've talked about in previous podcasts is when you are a person for which people have to pull themselves up to be around, there is a level of grace that you need to extend. Yes. Because most people are not in covenant friendship, and most people are not in friendship that calls them higher, right? And so that is really a grace. And I think for me, what has helped me is that I've become humbled by the fact that God would even entrust his daughters to me in any way. I'm like, you know, and just to be frank, anything I have to be patient with people about, it's something they got to be patient with me about.
Lish, when I tell you, my friends will tell you, it take me 3 to 5 business days just to text back.
Oh, child, me too.
You know what I'm saying? And then my friends would be fed up with me. You know, I've had a friend who's confronted me about that. You know what I'm saying? So I try to remind the very same thing. Like the same patience and grace that I extend, I know that I still need.
I need it badly. And let me tell you what's really going to teach you that. Marriage.
For real?
Girl.
Girl.
Yeah, girl. You're going to be like, I guess I'm not perfect.
Yeah.
And so it's a beautiful thing to learn in friendship. And so much of what I learned in friendship has sustained me in business and marriage and stewardship of good things in the kingdom of God. It's like, oh, you learn this. And because here's the thing about friendship. And this is why I love sisterhood and groups and community, because what you do with your peers is who you really are.
Talk about it.
That's just what it is.
It is.
You know, how you treat someone who you look up to or who you're trying to work with or who you work for, you know, or how you treat your niece or your nephew.
That's who you are.
You know, that's who you are.
Yeah.
But how you treat your peers is really who you are.
Really who you
because
are.
It's like you lose all the formality. Right? There's some formality in how I treat my nephews. They're kids. I'm not gonna whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's some formality in how I treat my mother and my father and you know, whatever. But my cousins, my sister,
yeah.
That's lish.
That's what it
is what it is.
Right,
you know?
right,
Like,
for real.
my brother, my siblings,
Yeah.
it is what it is. And so I think those peer relationships of the people in a similar life stage, a similar life group, a similar age, you don't all have to be the same exact age, but similar age, similar life stage, that's where you get to really work out your character.
Yes.
Because you see the real you. You see how impatient you get. You see how you can talk to people when you're hangry. You see how you can talk to people when they don't agree with you.
They will expose you. Your relationship should be a mirror.
Yes.
I forgot who I heard say that.
Yes.
But it was like it should show you a reflection of who you are.
Yes.
So it's either, oh, okay, that's a good trait about me. I should keep that going. Or, what's that in my eye?
Right.
Oh,
that ain't cute.
That ain't cute.
Right.
Like, it's not cute.
This.
It's not cute. Me always thinking that I can, when we're bad, I can cuss you out. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day,
hang up on you, walk away from you.
Lish, you just don't make. I will listen. How I treat you as a friend, even when I'm angry, matters. Because at the end of the day, our goal is to be friends.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So even seeing like how I treat you when I'm angry,
yes.
how I treat you when I'm stressed out, how I treat you when I'm at my best, and I'm like that should show you.
Yep.
So it's important to be able to realize how your friendship should refine you in the best and worst way.
And it's important to have friends who are honest with you. I have some very honest friends. And I don't really attract people who don't keep it real. You know, I met with a woman in my church recently who I don't know extremely well. She is someone who I think is really great. Yeah. And I had reached out to her in the past to like kind of help me out with something, but I never really followed up. And she got injured and then, you know, whatever. And I just kind of like let it fall by the wayside. So she asked me if we could meet up, and I didn't know what she wanted to meet up about. So she wanted to meet up to disciple me, honey. So we get together, and and I'm telling you, she did it so lovingly. She's an older woman, you know, she has adult children. She's been married for 20 something years, you know, and she just kind of corrected me on going faster alone. She was like, you do a lot of things alone because you're very capable, but the problem is nobody's learning from you. And that's not ministry. I mean, she got me together. Snatched me up.
Oh, I love good discipleship.
Guess how I feel about her now?
You love her. You value her.
And I need that. We need that. You know, a lot of times young people who are deemed as wise or successful, right? You get in this space where the older people in your life start treating you like you don't need discipling or like you don't need counsel. I don't know if this has happened to you yet. Maybe not. Maybe because you're still in your 20s. But something happens when you're in your 30s and then you get married. People start treating you like, oh, you got it. Yeah, you're good.
Oh,
you're good. Girl, yeah. I hate it. Okay? So I have literally over the last, I would say 6 months, I have set specific women down. This woman wasn't one of them. She just raw like that. Right. But I have set specific women down and told them, hey, we are not peers. We're not peers. I have this woman in my life who I call my young OG. Because she's young. She's 50. Yeah. But she has an adult daughter, a teen daughter. She's owned homes. She runs businesses. Oh, she OG. You know, so she's young, but she's OG. Yeah. And, you know, she just be treating me like we the same. Like, I'll talk to her about stuff in my marriage. She'll talk to me about stuff in hers. We're really good friends. Yeah. Like, you know, she's becoming one of my closest friends. And I had to sit her down a couple of months ago and say, hey, I know that we admonish each other and we disciple each other, but we're not peers. I said, and sometime I need you to say to me, little girl, stop doing that. You're 20, almost 20 years older than me. Yeah. Like, you have a grown child. I don't have a child. You own 2 houses. I don't own one. Like, please don't see me as please. I know you think I'm wise and I'm the women's ministry leader at my church and all of this stuff. Cool. but I'm still only 30 at the time, 36, I'm 37 now. And
That's so humble of you.
I need it.
Yeah.
I tell my own
Your
mother.
growth depends on it.
I be telling my mother I need to be mothered in this
Yeah.
situation. Don't look, my daughter's so wise. She's so no. I'm not that wise. Okay.
You can teach me something.
A lot.
Give me a smack on the hand.
Please. You know what I mean? And that's the community that we need, and I think that, as my example points to, sometimes it's hard to get it above and below, but in that peer space, if you have friends around you and y'all not correcting each other, y'all not discipling each other,
somebody lying.
Something ain't right. I'm not saying every time y'all get together it needs to be a hard talk.
No. But I do feel like if you got I don't know. I'm not saying that you got to always be beefing, knuck if you buck with your friends.
Right.
I'm not saying that. But if no one's correcting you,
no, yeah.
I feel like you're lying to me.
And even if they could be correcting you on something that don't have nothing to do with y'all.
Yeah.
They could be correcting you on your tone with the waiter.
Yeah.
They could be correcting you on what, but they need to be honest with you because who else is going to do it? So I love that you have friends that do that. I want to pivot just a little bit here. You have interviewed, as we said earlier, some of everybody. Okay, now this is even before 116 Life. You was interviewing prominent people in Christian hip hop, and then also, playing new music of people who are trying to get on. So that brings people. I think I got a DM to Eminem. Like I think so. I'm about to look. Actually,
probably did.
I think I DM'd y'all when I was putting music out.
Yeah.
So you are someone who's been pretty much highly sought after in this space. You've interviewed just recently, because I didn't even go that far back, people like Lecrae, Jackie Hill Perry, Chandler Moore, Philip A. Mitchell, who's like the hottest preacher out right now.
Pastor Phillip.
Like, and so you've sat with these people and you ask questions. We could get all deep, but I'm going to go a different way.
Okay.
What has been your favorite interview for you? Like, what has been the interview that somebody said something that you still hold on to?
Dang. I'm going to have to go recent.
Yeah,
I'm not going to lie. You saying
memory
12 years, I'd be like, dang, who did I talk to? I think one of my favorite people I've talked to that were impactful, I'll say that. Impactful, I'll go from two different ends. One was Pastor Phillip. I'm really grateful to have had him on. I met Pastor Phillip, I want to say 2021. We both, him and his wife Lena, we all went to the same gym, and we had a really tight gym community at the time. And this was before even his church was called 2819, but he was like the same pastor everyone sees now was exact same pastor he was then.
I love that.
And we were trying to think of people to have on the show, and then our engineer brought up Pastor Phillip, and I still had his number. I was like, I don't want to seem like clout chasey. I really don't. I was like, most he can say is no. So I reached out, and he was able to be on the show. And when I tell you, on and off air, he was just so edifying to everyone around.
Yeah. I've heard that from every person,
like
that I know who has personally been around him.
Edifying around to everybody who walked in the room. If you just walked by, hey bro, I like what you're doing over there. You work really diligently. You're a good steward. He just walking past holding the trash. Like it would be like things that you think so small. Yeah. But he's just so wise, so devoted to God, such a man of God. And I can't even pinpoint that. I cried on that show, that episode. I was just, there were so many things that he spoke to that spoke to me about are we okay being misunderstood?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I was kind of just like, man, like that's something that I've wrestled with sometimes with like, man, people don't just get it, but it's like, okay, but can you still be faithful and misunderstood to what God has for you? And even off air, him saying so many different gems. I was like, where is my notepad, my notes? What is the title of this sermon? Because I need it. Yeah. So his interview was one that was great. And another one that meant a lot to me was we interviewed this film director. His name is Rich Perez. He's based here in Atlanta. And he was a pastor for years, and then pivoted into being a film director and was has competed at different festivals. One has an amazing a film called, I think it's called It Stays With Us. I can't remember what it's called, but I know that for him to be a pastor for so long and then to just go into film and follow what God called for him to do. That takes a lot of guts, risk, you know what I'm saying? And him just saying like, you know, I asked him a question that was really for me at the end of the show. I was like, you know, I was like, what advice do you give to young storytellers, people who want to tell stories? He was just like, you know, don't be afraid to self-interrogate. Look at everything that you do as
I love that.
Don't you love that?
Yes,
Oh, Lisha was so good. I was just like,
it.
I could walk away now. Like that was so great. Being able to self-interrogate and see, you know, what story, like look at everything as a story. Like, you know, someone saying something that you heard across the street, live life. The only way you're able to tell a story is if you live life. You see other people's lives.
I gotta go back and watch that one.
No, you do. I'll send it to you.
Yeah,
it's one of my favorite interviews. So those two really inspired me in a spiritual way, in a creative way, because there are ways of me that even before Eminem that I was creative in, that I still have aspirations of till today. So those interviews really carry weight to me.
What was the first red carpet that you ever did?
Ooh,
and tell me about that experience, because you know, offline, I got some red carpets coming up, and I'm actually very nervous.
Oh,
we might have to edit that out.
You're gonna kill it. No, you're gonna kill it.
But tell me about your experience, you know, on the first red carpet that you went to, how it came about, how you prepared, what you remember from it.
Okay. I think, I'm trying to remember the very first red carpet.
Because I feel like you've done a lot.
But I think the first big red carpet I did was Dove's.
Okay.
And this
was
what
year?
I think 45th.
Okay.
This was the year that I forget his name, the lead singer of Mercy Me and Cray hosted.
I
forget
can't
his
remember,
name.
I know
But they hosted, and when I tell you, sis, I finesse. We say we really we snuck on
and got to
and got to. You know what I'm saying? Like favor ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? So I take all credit and glory to God. Finessed our way on that carpet, and it was one of the most nerve-wracking but adrenaline pumping things I've ever experienced. And I was so nervous. I remember we interviewed Cray. That was the first time I interviewed Cray, and then I think everyone on the roster at the time at Reach, we interviewed them in one sitting, and that's one of the most cringiest interviews I've ever did. I can never watch that back because I was so nervous. I'm so even new to CHH at the time because, like, you know, I'm just now learning about who's who, so I'm so genuinely like big fans of these people. So like I was really, really nervous, and also it's hard interviewing like
multiple people,
5 people on the carpet, and you have this much space. You know what I'm saying? So I remember that carpet was really memorable because it was the first big time thing I've ever did. And I was just kind of like, man, this is nerve-wracking, but I kind of like it. I feel like I feel like I could do this again. So and I love doing Doves. So that's what carpet that the first big carpet I really did. And I don't even know how they even let us on. I think that's why they beefed up security now, because when they saw like, who are these 2 girls who got that have blue hair at the end? They was like, who are these kids who are on the carpet? But no, that year Doves, that was memorable.
That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take the opportunities that the Lord provides. Okay,
listen, the one He provides.
So how many have you done since then?
Red carpets?
Yeah.
Or Dove red carpets?
Just red carpets in general.
Lish.
I know.
I don't know if I can give you that number.
She's big dog, pit bull right now.
I don't even know. I know it hasn't been a lot recently. I know the last one I did was Dove's last year. But Lish,
that's a big deal.
I've done spend a lot of carpets.
I know.
Dang, how many carpets have I done?
And it's really cool because, you know, as I was doing, so last year I did the red carpet for the BCI award ceremony. Yes. And on that red carpet, you know, was a lot of prominent influencers, Christian influencers, and then also preachers like Jerry Flowers.
Yes.
And I was so nervous because I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to say anybody's name wrong. I don't want to do that. No. And then what happens is you just do it. You just do it. You just allow yourself to do it and allow yourself to be free. And let me tell you how I can relate to the whole cringe, because it took me months to even watch the footage.
Oh, no.
It took me months.
We did Doves last year in October. I still haven't watched all that footage. It's very rare that I even watch that stuff. So yes, relate.
But then when I watched it back, I'm like, this is so good. These are so good. This is so good. And so I really, you know, I want to take a moment for you to give young girls, or even, you don't have to be young. Listen, I'm starting my media, you know, career. I started at 35, right? Getting serious about my media career. So it's been almost 2 years now. It's been about 2 years now. But for you, anybody who's listening, who wants to be in media, whether it be Christian media, CHH, or just media, period, right? What advice would you give them if they feel like they still haven't found their voice?
I think it's very important for you to be comfortable with you. I only say that because it took me probably like 5 years, Lish, to be really comfortable with me. There were so many times where I would try, like when we were on the AM station, they would say, oh yeah, like Misa, my sister, yeah, she's gonna be right on the mic, so you don't have to keep her mic so hot. But like the Meah, she's laid back, so like you have to turn up her mic. And I took so much offense to that. So I would try to sound like Misa, and I would try to host like Misa. And my people who listen, they say, y'all sound just alike, and we still get that. But yeah, we sounded alike because I was trying to sound like her. You know what I'm saying? So it took me a while to figure out, who am I?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even like being okay. I'm not gonna lie, I'm weird, I'm quirky. I can be kind of silly sometimes.
I don't think you're as quirky as you think you are, because that's not the first time I heard you say that. You're very, very normal.
No, well,
and fly and cool.
I'll tell you something. This is all a facade. I'm cosplaying as a Instagram fly girl. I'm really strange. Okay. So I say all that to say that I think I give credit. I think, honestly, I don't think I'd be able to handle the red carpets I do today, the interviews I do today, if I wasn't comfortable with me. Yeah. But then even also confidence. Yeah. I think confidence is so key. You can't hold a whole conversation if you aren't speaking up, if you don't even have the right posture. It's like sometimes those things, like your posture, how you ask a question, eye contact, will tell on yourself.
You're second guessing every single thing you say.
It's uncomfortable for you. It's uncomfortable for the watcher. It's uncomfortable for the person you're interviewing. Yes. You need confidence is key. Yeah. And I don't believe in fake it till you make it. Be it. Yeah. I live my mantra. I say at the end of every single Eminem Live radio show is be yourself like you mean it. Like be you. If you're quirky, be that. You know what I'm saying? If you're outgoing, don't ever try to limit yourself, minimize that for anything, because that's going to read through. Yeah. Authenticity always reads through. Always.
Praise God.
You know what I'm saying?
Because that's all I got. People like, you're so real. I'm like, it's all I got. That's all I got to give you.
Real recognizes real. Yes. People crave authenticity, especially within the culture we live in now. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants anything fake. They can smell it. They're gone. Because no one can relate to that. Yeah. So be authentically you, and then be confident in that. And then when you're confident in it, now sit in that and be comfortable in that. So then when you interview whoever, go apply for any red carpet, even when you get turned down, you're confident. You brush it off and you can move on.
Yes. I love that. I love that. And I think too, it's important, if you are a believer, which is our demographic. So most of you, if you're listening to this, you probably are, or you're going to be one in the name of Jesus.
Amen.
But get your confidence from God. Yes. When I feel like, I don't know if I can do something, or when I get turned down, there's been rooms I've tried to be in. And I tell people all the time, every industry is very small. No matter how big you think it is, it's small. Thing. So whenever you don't get something, chances are the person who got it.
Exactly.
When you can't get in a room, chances are half the people in the room are going to be people you personally know. Yes. Like, not just, we've seen them before. Yeah. You sat down with them, you cool with them, you see them at events, and it was just their chance and not yours, right?
Exactly.
And so what I always tell people is, get your confidence from God, but also trust God's no. Like, when it comes to whether you do music, whether you act, whatever, these are just industries full of rejection. Yeah. That's just the facts. It is. If everyone could be it, everyone would be it. You know? Would. And so you have to trust God's no just as much as you trust his yes. When he lets you in, you're not like, oh wait, no, that's all right. You're like, all right, cool. Even if you're scared, you go through the door. So when he closes the door, you have to allow the closed door to I always say God's no is a kindness to us. It's a kindness to you. Mercy. He loves you too much to give you something that would hurt you, that you're not ready for, or that would hurt his other children.
Mercy.
Right? Because you're not the only kid of his. You're not. He got other children down here. And so if giving you an opportunity would be harmful to his other children, you just may not get it. And so having, I have a lot of confidence in the things that I've been asked to do, even the things I feel like I'm not qualified for. I have confidence because I really do understand that God has put me in position and he trusts me. And when I trust someone with something, the last thing I want to hear them telling me is that they can't. That's very annoying to me.
Yeah.
Like I have interns and stuff. And I tell them, well, if they start, I'm like, forget it. You don't got, it's all right. I'll get somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
Let me get somebody, because you clearly, and I don't ever want God to give me an opportunity and I'm over here acting silly and he like, it's all right. Let me get somebody else to do it.
Because he will. Because he will.
And have. And so I just really want to encourage you, if you want to do anything, to really go after it confidently. And I love that. You said, be yourself like you mean it. I love that. That's good. Listen, I'm going to get in your business for 10 seconds.
Oh, Lord.
In your singlehood.
Okay.
First of all, how are you feeling about your singlehood? And what do you feel like God is teaching you in your singlehood?
I love this question. I think I'm the most at peace I've ever been. And it makes me so happy, Lish. Like it could bring me to tears almost. I've been single my whole life. And I've never been in a relationship, nothing like that. And it's just, you go through so many waves of your reasons why. Oh, I'm too busy. Then it was, okay, I haven't found anybody, or I'm not attracted to anybody. The ones I want, they don't want me. And the ones that want me, I want them. You know what I'm saying? And always trying to figure out, oh God, when? And I'm just finally at the place. I know, I just feel like God's just like, oh, finally, she's got it. Finally. Man, I just love being a daughter. I really do. Yeah. I'm striving for it every day. Yeah. Where I'm not worried about what's next. I know God already has it. And I know I have access to this beautiful love. Yeah. That just can never surpass anything anyone can give me, So I know I don't get me wrong, I've been through the roller coaster. Yeah. I've been through the fire, I've been through the emotions. I've been out through all of that. Yeah. It's just I'm grateful now being here. Yeah. Yeah. How'd you get there? For someone who is watching you and is like, well, I'm glad you there, but right now I'm over this and I'm ready. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So how'd you get there? Man, I feel like there's so many answers to that question. How did I get here? Ooh, I'm about to get real. I'm about to get really real, and y'all not gonna like this answer. Oh Lord. I stopped making being in a relationship an idol. I stopped idolizing it. Yeah. I stopped making it the moment that's when I'm gonna be the happiest. Yeah. Like I stopped thinking that, oh, all these things are gonna be great when. And that I'm missing something, and that's what I'm missing. Yes. And, oh, God, I'm going to pray to you so I can meet my husband. I'm going to fast so I can meet, opposed to just fasting so I can be with Jesus. Opposed to praying just so I can spend time with God. I saw someone post on Threads, say something like, imagine you getting before God and talking about all your prayer time with him, and all the times you prayed to him, you was talking about wanting a man. The times I spent with a man. I got one, and I can tell you right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are other gifts that God gives you. You know what I'm saying? That fortify your life. Exactly. That ain't the only gift. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a gift, but singleness is not a punishment. No, not at all. It's not. It is a beautiful gift. Yeah. And I think when I tore down that idolizing, those idols, and stopped trying to strive to get God to do something for me, is when it's not even like, oh, God started coming out of nowhere. Now, don't get me wrong, that's happened. Like from time to time. However, it's just kind of like, for me in this moment, it's okay, I'm content just being with the Lord. Yeah. If, let's say I never get a relationship. Let's say I never get married. I'm okay with that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's like there is nothing missing. Yeah. You know, because everything I'm gonna get after that is gonna be addition too. It's gonna be another blessing. It's a bonus. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a bonus. You know, so I'm so grateful to be in this place. And I pray that anyone who is listening, any single woman, you just let go of your list, let go of your timeline just for a little bit. and just focus on just being a daughter.
Yeah.
God just wants you to be at his feet.
Yeah.
He just wants you to just pray to him, just to pray. Like imagine just praying for God, just not asking, just not talking about what you want at the relationship, the date that you want, how everyone's booed up but you. Just let that to and just sink into the love, the amazing, endless, deep, reckless, overwhelming love that he has for you now. Yeah. Not the one that you gotta get. Right. I think the one you gonna get is great. Yes. Girl, have you realized what you got right here? Yes. It's like when I'm so happy that veil that I'm no longer blind to that. It's just like it's just a peace that just sits upon you. That's just like I'm just so grateful for it. Sorry that was long.
No, please. We love long. And listen, you said something that I think is so important that you gotta let go of the timeline. I personally am okay with lists. Fast, pray, do what you gotta do, right? Everyone's in different seasons. There were seasons of my singlehood where I didn't need to fast and pray. I just was happy to be a daughter. Yeah. Then there were seasons where I was struggling and my physical needs were very real and I needed to fast and pray, right? And everything in between that. Yeah. But let go of the timeline. People have made terrible decisions and mistakes. And married the wrong person. Wrong. Because of the timeline part. That's the most dangerous part to me. Because everything else, whatever. You can figure out your heart posture or why you're praying or why you're fasting.
To think that your timeline is God's. I know he laughing. I know he laughing. I read the scripture. It's in Isaiah. I think Isaiah 55. You know where it says God's ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. In the Hebrew, ways translates as path. In journey. Thoughts translates as it's slipping my mind. Either way, I know with ways it translates as journey and path. And just thinking that within itself, wow, God's journey, his path, one of them is direction as well. Direction is not mine.
No, nothing like it.
So his time, what makes you think God's timeline is yours?
And with our best thinking and planning, we've gotten ourselves into some of the dumbest situations ever. And not just relational, just things. So, one of the things for me that really helped me to wait on God, being a disciple at 14, not being married until I was 35, being a virgin the entire time, which there were times where I felt like I was going to rip out every hair on my head, including my eyelashes and my eyebrows. I was over it, right? Some women like, I'm just pure and I'm just waiting. I was not one of those women. I was struggling, okay? That's another episode for another time. I did not always do great in my purity because I wanted to have sex. I was trying to think of a different way to say that. Yeah, that's what it is. But I had made a vow to God. Thank God I had so many great women in my life to help me, but there were times where I really struggled. And the thing that I had to take off the throne for me was my own pleasure, not just sexual pleasure, but the pleasure that I thought being married would bring into my life. I don't have to worry about anything because I have a husband, right? Now, God is gracious because that is, a lot of my reality now. Yes. But I lived a life without that reality so that I could understand God's hand and plan. And what I would say, and I'm so proud of you for the way you are stewarding your singleness, because people don't think that's something to steward, but it is.
No, it is. It is.
I'm so proud of you because the truth is, if you don't get that part right, you will have a very unhappy marriage. Yes. You will have a very unhappy marriage if, someone said this to me when I was dating in a relationship one time. They say, he'll make a great boyfriend and make a terrible Lord. And it's the same with husbands. Okay, you have a man, he'll make a great husband.
That's a bar.
He'll make a terrible Lord. Jesus is Lord. And when you put relationship, and again, you said, you had to take away the idol. For some people, it's not relationship. Some people, it's the idol of success. I'll be happy when I'm sitting where Meah sitting. Yeah. When I can interview this person. I'll be happy when I lose the weight. Yeah. I'll be happy when I have this amount of money in my bank account. And God is a jealous God. He's a very jealous God. He wants you to be happy because he woke you up this morning. He wants you to be happy because he loves you, because he's very well pleased with you. Clock this. He wants you to be happy because he sent his son to die on a cross for you.
I think I heard Pastor Philip say this, where it was like, when has Jesus stopped being enough? And he said that, I was like, dang, you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
We always think, I know I have
Yeah.
thought that, oh, well, I need this and it's
Yeah.
going to be great. Or I'll be great when I get this,
Yeah.
when I lose this, when
Yeah.
I make this much, when I
Yes.
live here. And it's kind of like, well, but when has Jesus stopped being enough
When
for
did
you?
he stop being enough? And it's so important that, you know, not just in singlehood, but in life. Because there will always be something, right? You get the husband, and then now it's when am I going to get the kids?
Yes.
When am I going to da, 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 da?
Yeah.
You know, it's so important that we remember that God, who loves us dearly, must be enough for us, must fill our void. I love that answer. Thank you for your vulnerability. That was really good.
I was, like you said, you weren't expecting to say that on 116. I wasn't expecting to say that here.
I love that. Good. So Meah, you like me are very serious about prayer.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, girl.
You don't play about prayer.
Can't play about it.
What are you praying about these days? And how's that going for you? How's it going in your heart?
I think I've really, when I tell you my prayer life, I have a schedule. Like on Sundays, I pray for myself, my family, my husband, my future husband, and my future kids. On Tuesday, I pray for my friends. On Wednesday, I pray for my church. On Thursday, schedule. I pray for businesses I'm a part of. Friday, I pray for healing. Saturday, I pray for the world, like community. So like I got it locked in. I will say as far as I'm really honing in on really making sure I'm praying for others though. I think that's really a big thing for me. I think there's so much power in intercession. Yeah. For me personally, I think the biggest thing I've been praying for myself is just to be submitted. Just for me to be submitted to anything what God wants for me to do with regarding anything. I think it's so funny. God's got me doing a lot of things and that I'm really trying to stay submitted to. And like as soon as it's just like before my mind even goes to, oh, but God, I mean, I really don't need to. The scripture that instantly comes in my mind is like, why you call me Lord, Lord, and you don't do what? Period. So I'm like, I can't even try to negotiate with myself. So I'm really trying to just pray. I've been praying lately for me to be submitted. And I pray that over everybody. Because I know I'm not the only person who needs to be that. You know what I'm saying? So I'll be praying that over my family, over my friends, praying that that they just be submitted to what God wants for them. I've been praying a lot for my friends, for them to let go of divinations and for them to stop having Jesus and this and Jesus and crystals and Jesus and tarot cards. Like I like all these. I've been praying, like, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been praying for a lot of people for salvation. I'm a middle school girls, a small group leader. And one of my girls, she's always praying for salvation for her dad. I'm always praying, like, you know, thinking about that for her. And, you know, I just really, I'm praying for my family, my nieces, like, you know, things like that. So, I know that was a lot, but I've really been trying to specify and not waste my prayers. You know, I don't want to pray amiss. You know what I'm saying? So that's been on the list.
I love that. I love that. Prayer is so important. And, you know, the Bible says the prayer of a righteous man is powerful and effective. And so continue to pray, you know, not just you, but you, all of us, you know, because God really does hear us and change things because of it. We have a question that we ask here. And I'll just let myself in when we end the show. And that question is, in the grand scheme of things, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want my legacy to be authenticity. I really thrive on that. I just want for when people to look back at the things that I've done, what I said, who I was when I just walked in a room. I just want people to just know that I was just being who God created me to be. I want people to know that I was just being myself. I wasn't trying to put on. I've just always used to have this mindset of that, will this make sense to people? Will people like this? And finally breaking free from that. There's just so much freedom in that. And sometimes when you're authentic, you give other people the permission to be authentic themselves and you make other people feel comfortable. And I just want people to look at what I did, just who I am, just really just who I am. That I was just authentic when it came to me speaking about the things that God's brought me through, me being authentic with me encouraging somebody, me being authentic and just me being real about me being me and not shadowing that and succumbing that. And with being authentic when it came to my singleness, being authentic when it came to how I dressed, like everything. Like, it's just like she never put on, she was just always herself.
Yeah.
And because she was herself, I made me feel comfortable to be myself as well. Yeah. So if I could just be able to let people be authentic, feel comfortable being authentic through my own authenticity, I think I've done my job.
I love that. And you are well on your way to cementing
sis.
that legacy. Listen, thank you so much for being here. Tell the people where they can find you.
Yes. So listen, I don't care about you following me. I really don't. If you want to follow me, you can follow me at Meah Evans. That's MEAHEVANS. But follow my podcast. That means a lot to me. My podcast I've been doing for 12 years now this year, called M&M Live Radio. Our Instagram is at MM Live Radio, and that's on absolutely everything. And you can find us on all podcasting platforms. And please tap in. I feel like that's the best way. Don't follow me. Follow M&M Live Radio. And if you want to tap into the 116 Life, I think our Instagram is at 116 Life. And and also, y'all, please keep supporting Lish. Lish is so fire at what she does. It's such a great show. And please be tapped in every week. Engage with the posts. Please. Don't just look at it. Yes. Like, don't do that. Like, just look at it, like it, comment. And you might as well just go ahead and share it to your story when you do it. And then we listen to the show, send the link to somebody. Yes. You know what I'm saying? So, because we need more great people like Lish in the space. And sis, thank you for being obedient. Thank you for doing what you do, being yourself. And I'm so grateful that you've accepted this call on your life, because you're so good at it. Thank you. Listen, tap into Holy Culture Radio as well. Yes. Sirius XM Station 140. I'm on Monday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When is 116 on? Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Tap into Holy Culture Radio. Listen, this has been another episode of I'll Just Let Myself In with your girl Lish Speaks. As you know here, what we always say is, if you can let yourself in, the mechanism is nearby, right? The key is under the mat or under a rock. If you can let yourself in, that means the door just might open when you get close enough to it. God has things for you to let yourself into. And I want this to be the week. Yes, this week, after you listen to this episode, let this be the week that you stop waiting for an imaginary permission slip and you allow yourself into your God-given doors. I can't wait to see you back next week for another one. Peace, y'all. So have a great day.